I have a curse. An endless life, the curse of one's past life. 52nd? No, 53rd. That's the number of times I've been reincarnated in 1,000 years. There's nothing that I haven't done, and there's no life that I haven't experienced. I've been an archmage, a sword master named Black Star, a musician, an artist, a blacksmith, a doctor. I've done everything. It's all boring. Everything is so annoying. I want to live comfortably. A new life started again. I'm going to live this life as a sloth. Sloth, meaning to be lazy. My 54th life. I'm sick of it, she said. Rubia. Someone shouted. She said, I will live as a sloth this time. I have to rest. Then someone pushed her door open and criticized, how long are you going to carry on sleeping like that? You are really like your mother, a weak person. Really useless person. Rubia, our protagonist, was thinking, as soon as I woke up, I wondered what kind of person made this type of noise. Her name is Rubia de Grandia. She is 18 years old. She died alone from a fever. The young lady of Luxemduchy. Wait, the young lady? It will be difficult for me to be lazy with this status. Besides, it's normal for her to be ignored by the servants. A cruel stepmother and her heartless eldest son. A selfish younger sister, who neglected by their biological father. It's like a dysfunctional family, isn't it? I am in trouble. Big trouble. Rubia. Her stepmother shouted. What kind of rude behavior is this? What's so good about being a bastard child that you date to behave like this? Rubia got up and said, I apologize. It hasn't been long since I regained consciousness, so it seems like I've lost my mind. So, if you don't have anything else to say, please go back now. Please, just leave. I am tired. You. How dare you? Rubia looked at her stepmother with bloodlust that scared her. She turned around and slammed the door, saying, You will surely be punished. Be prepared. Rubia went to the mirror and looked at herself and said, Oh my. Radiant silver hair, jewel-like eyes. She's so pretty. The perfect face for a lady. But being too pretty is also troublesome. She weakly thought, being a lady in a dysfunctional family and having such a pretty face. It doesn't help with achieving a sloth-like life at all. The easiest way is to become a mistreated mistress of a man with no ambitions. She yawned and was preparing to sleep when suddenly, her eldest brother and stepmom burst into her room. He angrily said, Rubia, was what mother said the truth? Viscount Sven. A brother from different mother and Archduke Luxen's eldest son. So she calls for reinforcement. But am I so tired to the point I'm starting to hallucinate? They are such a stubborn pair. At this rate, there will be no end. This conversation needs to end. As soon as possible. She stood up and said, Yes, that is correct. I was rude to her. The first thing she says to her daughter who nearly died is that she is a fool. If I could truly call you a mother. He said, your words are too much. You should know she would never say it with bad intentions. Rubia said, before that, I would like to ask something. Are you trying to discipline me because she loves me? Or are you using it as an excuse to establish your standing in the family? Shocked, Sven then said, regardless, your words and actions were not right. Apologize to your mother. Sorry, Rubia said. She said, since I'm sick, can you please let me rest? That's enough. It's better if you went back, mother. The stepmom still tried to argue but was dragged away by Sven. When they left, Rubia immediately went to bed and sleep. In her sleep, she dreamed of kids playing happily. She woke up crying. She haven't had a dream in a long time. It's already my 53rd farewell. The feeling of separating from those I've loved is one I can never get used to. She got up to eat. Since they said, it's best to eat when you are depressed. In the dining, she said to the maids, get me something to eat. Medium rare steak and wine if there is any. The maid looked at her then said disrespectfully, Your Grace, there is no food left to serve after mealtime. Rubia then asked, if there's no food, I'd like you to make more. Is there a problem? The maid responded, how troublesome. Yes. Yes. I will make it right away. The maid turned away and when she came back, she served a waste food. Rubia, having reached her patience, asked, is there anything else you want to say? The maid said, please make sure to be present on time the next meal. Because we can't match up to your laziness, Your Grace. Rubia got up and slapped the maid so hard. Rubia said, I am the first daughter of Grand Duke Luxon. Humiliating me is equivalent to humiliating His Grace, Grand Duke Luxon. Do you have 5 lives? The maids quickly apologized and promised that they will serve the food properly. When the food arrived, Rubia was thinking that winning people over to her side is easy. But, it will need effort. And on top of that, she will still be sold off for a political marriage when she become an adult. Rubia already has a fiancé. The Western Empire's 4th prince. Even if he doesn't have a right to succession, he is still an outstanding force that even the crown prince has to reckon with. He is chosen as the most outstanding husband candidate in the entire Western continent. If I marry the 4th prince who has such frightful specs, my life is screwed. I don't know about other things, but I need to prevent this marriage no matter what. Then, a knight interrupted her thoughts. He said, Greetings, Lady Rubia. His Grace calls for you, Your Highness. She said, Understood. Take me there now. Rubia thinks this is good. Like the Western proverb, cut the tangled knot. I will cut off this dysfunctional family's bothersome knot at once. Inside the study, Rubia introduced her presence. Lady Rubia de Grandia Luxon greets His Grace, the Grand Duke. I see you are not nervous today, the Duke said. Rubia responded, I didn't commit any mistakes, so I have no reason to be nervous. The Duke then added, You have changed. It's as if you've turned into an entirely different person. She said, It's puberty. Since I am at an age where I'll be taller every time I wake up. I think my personality has also suddenly changed. He said, I see, figures it's been a long time since we last met. Rubia's biological mother was a commoner, but the Grand Duke loved her to the point that he was willing to take her as his legal wife. Yet the daughter born from the woman he loved died of fever caused by neglect and disdain. Why did this man never stop her stepmother's viciousness? Do you know why I called you? He asked. I have an idea. She answered. The Duke said, I won't point fingers, but I do not want the household to be noisy. I would like it if such things do not occur from now on. I will relay this to your mother as well. Rubia sadly said, I see, you are basically saying to cover the festering wound with a cloth and act as though it doesn't exist. There are two ways to fix the festering wound. First is to slowly apply medicine and wait until it gets better. Second is getting rid of the festering wound by entirely cutting it out. Since it's already too late, you must use the second method. From today on, I will leave the Luxon Grand Duchy. Did you think I would listen to such absurd words? The Duke asked. Rubia replied, you must listen to it. Because the person who let the wound fester is none other than the Grand Duke. I know. In this household, my existence is like a thorn to your side. I keep irritating the remaining wound and we can't help but hurt each other. So, for everyone's sake, I will leave. The Duke was silent. She then added, I will consider this as permission from you and leave. I will leave the palace within the day. Thank you for everything up till now. I wish you good health. She turned around and left. He didn't try to stop me even until the very end. Well, that's good for me, but... Rubia. You really were a pitiful child. In this life, I will be happy enough for the both of us. Inside her room, she packed some clothes and blanket. Since she doesn't have any valuables, she can just earn money. She then prepared to leave. Outside her room, someone said, What are you doing, Rubia? In the study, the butler reported, they say the lady has left the palace. Is it okay to not stop her? The Duke then looked at the knight and said, Sir Ervo, secretly watch over Rubia until she returns. It won't take long. Sir Ervo asked, Your Highness, if it happens that the lady really does intend to leave behind the dukedom, what will you do? In that case, bring her back to the palace, by force if necessary. The Duke commanded. Understood, Sir Ervo said and left the room. The butler was thinking, the lady was different today. She was always a timid person. But earlier, she seemed stronger and more confident than anyone else. It really feels like she may just fly away. To a place where nobody can reach her. Outside the palace, Rubia is holding a necklace. Earlier, what are you doing, Rubia? She looked and saw Sven. I was just leaving the palace, Rubia said. What kind of nonsense? Are you kidding me right now? Sven asked. She answered, but I think this would be the best method. I will be taking my leave. Please stay healthy. Wait, Sven called. Take this. If something troubling happens, use this necklace. She thought they should have treated her well while she was still there. Rubia is gone. My lady! Lady Rubia! Someone shouted. Marie? Rubia was shocked. Marie said, Let's go together, my lady. How could you leave without me? I can't live without my lady. Rubia said, Marie. Go back. If you follow me, it'll only be harder on you. That's okay. I will be of help to you somehow. Please let me come with you, my lady, Marie responded. I see, if you want to come that much, you can come with me. Their tummies started to rumble. Rubia asked, Marie? Do you perhaps have any salary saved up? I don't have since I bought things like cake, Marie answered. Rubia asked, Is there any other food you like? She shyly answered, Filet mignon. It's beef tenderloin. To be honest, I've never eaten it. But I was envious watching the masters eat it. Rubia smiled and said, All right. Let's have filet mignon and strawberry cake for dinner tonight. Marie was shocked and asked, Huh? How about the cost? She said, Money can be earned. Follow me. In the neighborhood, they went to a music shop. Rubia then pointed at the harp and said to the clerk, Could you lend me this instrument for a while? I'll give you 5 silver for 2 hours. The man, skeptical but looking at them, they look like they have money, so he said, All right, I'll lend it to you. They took the harp and left the store. Marie asked, Miss, what are you going to do with it? Rubia answered, I'll use it to earn money. Over there looks like a good spot. When they reached the spot, Rubia gave the hat to Marie to hold and collect the money. Rubia started playing the harp, gaining the passerby's attention. After the performance, Marie collected the money and slipped away from the crowd. After counting the money, they went to a restaurant to eat. Marie, feeling guilty, said, My lady, you didn't have to come here because of me. To lessen her guilt, Rubia said, I didn't come here because of you. I just picked it. I also enjoy tenderloin steak, so don't misunderstand. Marie asked, But what do you plan to do now? We are going to Lynette. Free City Lynette. The land in the Western Empire that does not belong to anyone. A space that used to be flat rural village 200 years ago. Lynette is now the most special city in the continent. This is thanks to the most prestigious Lynette Academy. The institution is a higher level of education that corresponds as a university. There are various major courses. People enrolled are typically in their late teens or early 20s. It also holds a special place in my heart. Hi, for a 2-person suite. Marie asked, Miss, are you going to stay here tonight? Rubia answered, Yes. You have to take a boat to get to Lynette, right? In order to get on the first boat tomorrow, we have to stay at a hotel here. Marie continued asking, But this place is expensive. And you have to get the ticket. Don't worry. I have a way. Inside the bathroom, Marie asked again, Miss, why are you going to Lynette? Do you want to go to Lynette Academy? Yes, it's enrollment season for students, so I'm going to take the entrance exams, she answered. Oh wow. You are trying to make your dreams come true in the future. That's so cool, Marie added. Rubia thought, this is the first step towards her sloth dream. First of all, room and board are free at the academy. Besides, this is a skill-oriented education. The gold prize is that exams can replace attendance. The next morning, Marie asked happily, Miss, when are we going? Rubia said, Well, I need to buy some stuff before I go. I have to go for 3 days, so I'll need to prepare in advance. She suddenly opened the door and called the knight. Sir Erbo, why are you pretending to hide? You've been following us since yesterday. The knight replied, I've been overseeing the princess. His Majesty commanded that I keep young ladies safe. Please understand that if you refuse, I still have no choice but to follow you. I didn't call you to send you back, Rubia stated. You must be having a hard time. Come in and have a cup of tea. Inside the room, Rubia gave a tea to Sir Erbo and said, Here. Thank you for protecting me and Mari. The knight said, Thank you. Now, please stop and return to the castle. Rubia answered, I have no intention of going back. The knight asked again, Are you sure you really intend to escape the Grand Duchy? Yes, I'm going to board a boat today. Then the knight suddenly became sleepy and dozed off. Mari was so shocked and tried calling Sir Erbo. Rubia said, Let it go. He's just asleep. See, isn't he snoring? Let's move him to the bed so that he can sleep comfortably. Then, after that, they left him in the hotel and made him pay for it. They then boarded in the boat going to Lynette. After 3 days, Mari exclaimed, It's Lynette. Look, miss. It's a huge port. It's so amazing. Rubia, feeling tired, said uninterestingly,
Yeah.
That's cool, Mari said, You are lying. Rubia thought, What, amazing? I haven't seen such a big city just once or twice. Lynette is special to her heart. Teacher? Is this really where we'll all be living? A boy asked. Yes, this is where we will live in the future, the teacher responded. Another kid asked, Are you going to set up a school for us to study? Then another chimed in, What do you want your school to be called? The teacher asked, Well, is there a good name that you can think of? I'll let you decide. Lynette. I want to call it Lynette. The kid responded. The teacher was flustered and said, Can we call it something else? The kids unanimously responded, No. It has to be Lynette. It should be the teacher's name, Lynette.
Aww.
They are so sweet. It was a small school built for 5 orphans. At that time, even after dying, I had no idea it had become the best school in the continent. Life at the Lynette Academy. It's been a good life throughout the past 1,000 years. Since it's already been 200 years, few traces of the past remain. Your application has been received. The test is a week from now. Mari asked, My lady, are you nervous? It's okay, I believe in you. If you fail, we can try another job. I'll earn some money. She said, Mari, you go to the accommodation first. I have to go to the library to study a bit. Mari responded, Yes, miss. Leave the luggage to me. And she ran off. In the library, she took a history of philosophy book. Just the title alone already bored her. But when she opened the book, she becomes engrossed. She thought, it has been a long time since she just leisurely read a book. Her past life was so intense. It was filled with dark struggles, schemes, blood and death. At that time, reading was one her wishes. Could I consider this my wish came true? After all, this is much more fun than payment documents. I should take a break. She stood up and went out. Did some stretching until a girl approached her. She said, Hi, Princess Deterioration. I am Janet Yeo Sick from the Hanson Marquis. I was surprised this isn't the Grand Duchy of Luxon. I didn't expect to see the famed Princess Rubia here. Don't tell me, are you here to take the exam? I admire the princess's courage. She still continued her monologue. Lynette Academy is a place that makes your family honorable simply by passing. But if you fail, this place reflects poorly on you. Janet was thinking, why would the Luxon's ugly princess, disgrace of principality and mockery of the social world, take Lynette's entrance exam? She'll surely fail and be embarrassed, but she is brave.
Ha!
Rubia exhaled and she thinks to herself, it's been tiresome so far, so it's refreshing to see this kind of cotton candy. Princess Rubia? Why are you smiling like that? Janet asked. Then Rubia wanted to tease Janet and asked her a lot of questions which made Janet shake from confusion. Then Rubia asked, are you sure you've studied hard? Maybe you should study some more yourself. Janet, feeling depressed, turned around and walked away. A week later. Mari was holding a signage and shouting, give it your best, miss. It's okay, if you can't pass, don't feel too pressured. The test will start now, the facilitator shouted. Rubia was shocked. The questions are so easy, but she doesn't want unnecessary attention if she gets a perfect score. Then she saw Janet looking happily. She felt relieved. So, it was easy after all. If it's like that, a 90 should be good. That's enough to guarantee she will pass without excess attention. Good. From now on, her life as a real sloth begins. At night time, Rubia was happily laying on the bed. Mari said, I'm a little worried about the test results. Of course I believe in you, but it was very competitive. I was worried because this exam was especially difficult. Was it difficult? Rubia was shocked. Mari affirmatively said, yes. People are talking, they said it was the hardest in the last 10 years. Others are packing without checking the result. Rubia was scared. Isn't 90 points a really high score? No, this is a place where bright talents comes from all over the continent. Right. No use worrying about it in advance. She curled in her bed trying to console herself. The next day, the results are out. A lot of people are crying. Mari said, A lot of them must have failed. How do I calm down? Rubia also said, Yes. I am also nervous. But her nervousness is different from Mari. She went to the facilitator and introduced herself. I am Rubia of the Luxon Grand Duchy. You are Princess Rubia. The facilitator exclaimed. Then she gave her a letter with a seal. Rubia took it, thinking, I have an ominous feeling about this. She opened the letter and thought, holy cow. She passed. Why am I at the first? Is there a mistake? How can a 90 points make me first? Janet then came and teasingly said, Did you do a great job on the test? Don't be upset, it's very hard to get a score to pass to the Lynette Academy. If you are taking another exam next year, just ask me. Hearing this, the facilitator was about to correct Janet when Rubia shouted at her to stop, turned around and glared at her. Because of this, Janet thought she was being embarrassed and smugly said, It seems like you want to hide your score even though it's very obvious. I will go now to respect your feelings. Then she turned around and leave. Ruby and Mari are about to leave too when the facilitator called them. Please wait, princess. There is someone who wants to meet you. As a result of my exam, my grand plan to spend 4 years playing and eating free food has failed. Baron Crusson, president of the Lynette Academy, said, "Oh my goddess. It's wonderful to see who passed the test with the highest score of all time." This shocked Rubia. Not only did she get the highest score, it also happened to pass the hardest test in this academy's history. If I enter the academy like this, my life will be harder. People won't leave the person with the highest notes alone. Even so, she said, before we talk about anything else, I have a request. It's about my score. With all due respect, I was only lucky this time. That score was not due to my abilities but to a miraculous chance and luck. The Baron laughed and said, "You are not only a genius but also a humble character. That's good. But I want you to know that I am not impressed with the score. What was written on your paper couldn't stop myself from being impressed. The perfect sense for the core of each case. Some even looked better than the academic documentaries. That was hard to believe. It must be fate. This will be my last duty to make sure that talent blooms." She then announced, "I'm sorry, but I am going to cancel my application." She turned around and trying to leave. The Baron said, "Why all of the sudden? What about this? Just enter the academy and you don't have to go in any courses. Just promise me that you won't leave the academy no matter what. In addition, we will replace all classes with assignments and exams." She's worried. The conditions are good, but if she will make a promise, she has to stay loyal since she has a soul that is much higher than others. If she promises, she have to follow unconditionally. She looked back and said, "I have many conditions. Do you want to hear it?" The Baron happily said, "Of course." Mary happily said, "Wow. This is our dorm. It doesn't look like a normal dorm for students. I can't believe that you entered the academy. Also, why didn't you tell anyone that you are a daughter from a big family?" "Well, it's okay. They will know once you start school." Rubia said, "They won't know even if the school started. So it's best to keep it a secret." She thought, when she discussed with the president, they made 2 important conditions. First, don't tell her family. Second, don't tell anyone that it was her who passed with the highest score. The Baron asked, "Why?" "It's a grand honor. Of course we have to tell the whole world." Rubia lied without batting an eye. Said, "I would have a seizure if I feel that there is much attention on me." The Baron was shocked but accepted her conditions. "Even though I'm exaggerating about it, but what can I do? I just want to be lazy." Mari asked, "Miss? Why are you going to bed? Everyone is trying to make friends before the courses." Rubia responded, "Genius people stay alone. Don't wake me up if I don't wake up." "No, no, no," Mary said. "Make friendship and you have to date." She added, "The 4th prince is here. He's in 4th grade and the representative of the students." This shocked Rubia. Another problem. Rubia sat on her bed and thinks, why is he here in the academy? He is a prince, he should study in the palace. If I knew we are going to meet sooner than expected, then I would have cancelled the engagement before leaving the dukedom. But thinking about it, I will rarely go out of the dorm. I will graduate in 4 years. And if I do a great job, there's a chance I don't have to meet him for the next 4 years. Even though I'm a runaway princess, if I leave my engagement alone, then my family will break it off. Even if I did nothing, they will do everything. Okay, fine. It's not important.
Ha!
I'm going to become one with the bed. 12 hours of sleep. Then, after 24 hours of sleep. After 48 hours of sleep. After 72 hours of sleep. Finally, Rubia woke up and said, "Ha, I slept well." Then she noticed that Mary was upset. She came forward and asked, "Do you want to eat something delicious today? What about strawberry cake?" Mary replied, "I already ate." Rubia teasingly added, "Really? I was gonna go to Mayan Pasta House. I was going to get the red pasta with seafood and buy strawberry juice on my way home. If Mary doesn't want to go, then I have to eat alone then." Mary stood up and cried, "You are so cruel, miss." "But miss, do you have money left? We only have 20 senna?" Rubia was shocked and she asked concerned, "What? How have you been so far?" Mary answered, "Well, that. There is only bread remaining." Rubia apologetically said, "I'm sorry. I have to be more careful. Follow me. Let's go earn some money. Let's earn lots of money this time." Outside the school, Rubia was looking around, enjoying the view. She noticed Mary looking at her intently. She asked, "Mary, what is it that you keep staring?" Mari said, "Miss, you look gorgeous." "I am always pretty," she smugly said. "Yes. My lady is the prettiest," Mary confirming it. Then, they suddenly heard a loud slap and a shout. "What are you doing? Can't you apologize properly?" The girl then said, "Sorry, I'm sorry." The red-haired criticized, "It seems like there is someone who's not from a noble family." She slapped again and said, "Is that even a proper apology? Is that what your family taught you?" Mari asked, "Miss, can't you do something?" Rubia said, "What can we do? As you may know, this is common. It's impossible to come and help out every time. Difference between different classes exist in the academy. That is reality. But sometimes, there are exceptions." Rubia kicked the stone and landed in the head of the red-haired girl. She shouted, "Who was it? How dare you?" Rubia said, "It was me. I didn't mean it, but what are you doing here? Anyway, I'm sorry." The red-haired girl said, "Please be careful next time, princess." Rubia replied, "Yes, I will. But, won't you greet me? I'm asking you to greet me in a proper way, or don't you know who I am?" The red-haired girl bowed and said, "Greetings, princess, I'm Maina." Rubia criticized her and said, "Your posture is wrong, or is it a new etiquette?" The red-haired girl apologized and said, "I'm wrong, please forgive me." Rubia said, "I will forgive you, so try again." "Oh, don't misunderstand. I don't think you learned it properly at home, so I'm teaching you. It's okay to thank me." Maina tried again and Rubia still pointed her flaws. "You need to bend your neck further.
Uh-huh.
But you shouldn't bend too fast, again." The core of Western imperial courtesy is modest, dignity and elegance like a butterfly and bees. She added, "Beautiful. Now even one greeting would be inferior to the imperial courtesy. Thank you, Maina said. Rubia smiled and said, would you like to learn other etiquettes? I can teach you. Maina suddenly bowed and said, thank you, princess, but I have something urgent to do.
Goodbye.
Then she run. Rubia exhaled and was about to leave too when someone called her. Thank you, princess, said the brown-haired girl. I didn't do it for you. I just wanted to show that Maina girl etiquettes. Don't misunderstand, I didn't even see you, the brown-haired girl said. Okay, princess. I don't want you to feel burdened. My name is Milia. I will remember this moment and I will never forget it. She then left. In the upper part of the building, the guy said, do we call her sister-in-law? He added, I never thought that she was that pretty. How can the rumors say that the princess is ugly? The prince reprimanded Ezekiel, watch your words. Ezekiel said, eek, don't look at me like that. It's my fault and the king has no sins. Should I call this the Watcher's Eyes? The Watcher's Eyes, only one in the continent. God gave him the power of the eye to see the core of things. And it symbolizes as the emperor. Whoever has this, has the honor of becoming an emperor. The fourth prince exhaled and said, we are not the only ones in this academy. So watch your words. Ezekiel said, yes, yes, my amazing brother, I will keep that in mind. But in fact, she was cool, right, brother? Then Ezekiel thinks, instead of being ugly, she was one of the prettiest in this empire. And she has a bright look that makes you look at her. He asked, what do you think, brother? How do you feel after meeting her? The fourth prince answered, she's pretty. Meanwhile, Mary is agitated. Miss, why are we in a casino? Rubia said, there is nothing to worry about. I know how to play a little bit of cards. She's thinking, you mustn't gain money by cheating in gambling. Stealing money from the bad is much more fun. That reminds me of how I was an expert in fraudulent gambling. The thrill of cheating backwards to the scammer is really indescribable. Rubia said, let's go. We are going to get rid of the scammers. While looking at the different games, she was thinking, 3,000 senna can feed and live a family for more than a year. I won't have to worry about the money for the time being. After gaining money, I must not get up from bed. Then, she heard a commotion and looked at the table. That's a bad guy's face. On top of that, he's fraudulent gambling, it's perfect. The guy noticed her and invited her to play. Rubia sat down and they started to play. First until the 5th round, Rubia keeps on losing until she noticed he's using mana that reverse the positions of the cards to create a high card. It's a skilled trick because it never left traces, but he is not the only one who can gamble. It's a royal straight flush. Someone shouted. Rubia said, it's my win. Thank you for your hard work. The guy laughed and said, that was very fun. It was a pleasure playing with you. May I know your name? Rubia answered, my name is Rubia. The guy said, Rubia. What a cute name. I think we will meet again. Rubia retorted, that will never happen. The guy confidently said, no, we will meet again for sure. After their night adventure, the two went to a restaurant. Mari happily said, it's 4,000 senna. It's not 400 but 4,000 senna. Rubia then teased, if you keep opening the bag, then the pickpocket will steal it. Mari nervously said.
Oh no.
I can't give this to them. It's mine, I mean milady's. Rubia smiled and said, Come on, let's eat. We are going to enjoy our dinner. Then, she fell into her thoughts. She knew that the man knew about her cheating. She felt that the moment they exchanged looks, he saw through her trick. Why didn't he say anything and skipped over? It doesn't seem like we are going to meet again. Mari then teased, Miss, who was that? He was very handsome. Rubia was so serious, thinking that she didn't notice that Mari was teasing. She said seriously, I was just thinking about it. And thought, appearance is appearance, but the most surprising thing was his magical ability. Without giving off the specs of using magic, using translocation magic in order to switch out cards. It's absolutely impossible for an average magic user. He must be at least a magic expert. There is only about 20 mages here in the Empire. There's no way I wouldn't know of such a young magic expert. A young magic expert user in the West Empire. Then, it hit her. Thinking about it, there was one. Crown Prince Friedhelm of the Empire. They said that he was born with tremendous magical talent that could be counted in history. I don't think it's him. Why would a prince be there? Why should I care who he is? It's not as if we'll ever meet again. Let's not mind it. Outside, after dinner, Mari asked, Miss, where are going again? We have a lot of money. So we have to use it, Rubia answered. Inside the boutique shop. Mari amazingly said, Amazing. This is the first time I have come to a place like this. Miss, I will choose a dress for you as you are beautiful. Rubia said, I don't need dress, I came here to buy you dresses. Then Rubia looked at the attendant and said, For this child, match a few casual clothes and banquet dress. After few try, it looks like Mari likes it. Worth spending the money, Rubia thought. Rubia announced, Good. Let's go to the next store. What? More. Mari was shocked. After their shopping spree, inside their dorm room, Rubia happily jumped in her bed and said, I'm tired. From now on, I will be lying down for at least 72 hours. Then, someone knocked on the door and asking, Are you inside? Mari opened the door and the man asked, Are you the freshman Rubia? Rubia responded, Yes, that would be me, who are you? The guy responded, I'm Orlean Lon Haustia. Rubia was shocked and immediately bowed and said, I greet the Empire's noble prince. I'm Rubia from the Luxon Dukedom. Rubia thought, Why is he here suddenly? I'm trying to escape him, but he came right after me. Orlean said, Sorry I came late at night, but I work as the representative of the students. Rubia de Grania la Luxon, you violated the academy rules. We have a report saying you went to the casino and you gambled a big amount. Please attend the disciplinary committee tomorrow morning. And left. Early morning came. Rubia came to the committee happy and thinking, I can't miss this opportunity. The goal is to be probated or suspended. I can't miss being legally lazy. Then, Orlean said, And for that reason, you will be punished by cleaning the campus. Rubia was shocked and said, I think the punishment is too light. Even if I'm a princess from the Luxon Dukedom, I have to be punished accordingly. Please give me a probation or suspension according to the academy rule. I refuse to clean the academy grounds. I would rather be suspended than clean. Orlean asked, is it really okay to get a suspension? Yes, Rubia answered. Orlean added, in fact, I decided to punish you with cleaning. No matter how bad it is, I think it's bad suspending you on your first day. Rubia then asked, did you do it because I'm your fiancé? Orlean said, think whatever you like. But our marriage is just business and it was our first meeting. Considering it a bit difficult to punish you severely. Rubia answered, this consideration is useless. Please suspend me according to the academy rules. It would better to have a bigger punishment, a suspension, to set it as a warning to others too. Orlean finally said, okay. Then it's decided a 5 days suspension for the princess. You can't take any classes or join any after-school activities. Rubia was so happy, but with a poker face, she said, I will stay alone for 5 days. Then she turned around and left, leaving the prince speechless. 5 days later, Rubia in a good mood said, should I take a walk since I took a good rest? Then, looking around, she thought, nothing has changed from the last 200 years. The main office where I used to work was rebuilt as it was caught in a fire. Somehow I feel bitter. The memories that were kept in my head are disappearing as the time passed by. I feel like I only have one memory. A very long time has really passed. But this rock is still here. There was a written note. I love you, Miss Lynette. The kids left this when the main building was being rebuilt 200 years ago. And they wrote this with a knife. I miss them. The children from long ago and the precious people that I meet in my previous life. They went through a lot. Are they all resting? As soon as I died, I reincarnated into someone's body. So, it has been less than a month since my last life way over. The central region would be noisy about my death. It was a big accident. They all died. I witnessed all of my precious people dying before my eyes, and the last time I died. I'm stupid. I thought my life ended this time. That's why I will only be resting in this life. Because I suffered till now. Rubia fell asleep. She felt like someone was approaching, but he said, you can sleep a bit more, you look tired. Rubia jolted awake. Friedhelm said, it's great to finally meet you again, miss. He added, I think you are not happy to see me again. Rubia answered, I don't feel comfortable to greet the person who reported me. Friedhelm was surprised and asked, how did you know it was me who reported you? Rubia answered, I didn't, you know. I was only trying to know, it seemed like I was right. Friedhelm embarrassedly said, I made a mistake. Don't misunderstand. I'm a temporary professor here. So I can't let students behave in derailment, that's why I reported. I did it for your good. Rubia thought, is this the same teacher as the fraudulent gambler? Okay, it's fine. Let's try to avoid him in the future. Yawning, she said, nobody asked, but I am tired. Will I go back to rest now? Friedhelm said, oh, I'm so glad to finally meet you, but it's so lame. Aren't you curious about who I am? Rubia said unamused, I don't have to be curious about something I already know. Isn't that right, Sir Friedhelm? He said, since when did you know? It couldn't be that this too was a rough guess? Rubia bowed and introduced Rubia Lux in Dukedom, greetings to the heir of the Western Empire. It was a pleasure meeting you, Your Highness. But please excuse this girl as she has urgent stuff to do. Friedhelm laughed. You are much more fun than I thought you would be. This is the first time I met someone as fun as you, Rubia retorted. I know that I'm pretty, but don't fall in love with me. Friedhelm said, what if I already did? Anyway, I have to go. It seems like I surprised you. Let me give you a present before you leave. A suction magic, Rubia thought. Usually suction magic sucks in everything. But now, the prince is sucking the dirt from my clothes. Being able to handle magic with this degree of detail. Friedhelm said, I hope that was beneficial to you. See you later then. Rubia, having a headache thinking that he is stronger than what she imagined. Even her fiancé attends the academy. And here she is getting tangled with the heir. Oh, I'm tired, I need to rest. She leaned in the wall and heard some boys. Wiener say something. Don't you know, but do you think that we have to be treated like this? Rubia thought, what? Has he been punished to clean by the disciplinary community? The boy then harassed the red-haired guy and said, Hey! Why aren't you answering me? I'm asking you if you are cleaning. Yes, I am, answered the red-haired guy. The green-haired guy said, cleaning has to be done by someone capable. Thank you, because you are going to do our jobs, right? Rubia cannot take it anymore and said, nobody sees me? What's going on? The two shocked had introduced themselves and said, we greet Her Highness Princess Rubia. I am Maurice from Isabaden Earldom, said the green-haired guy. Then the other guy said, I am Siam from Wapel Earldom. We were just cleaning the center. We were splitting holes for the cleaning. Rubia tiredly thought, if I ignore this, it's gonna bother me in my sleep. So let's solve this problem fast since they are just youngsters. She asked, what's your name? I'm Wiener, he said. Rubia straightforwardly asked, all right, are you hurt? They are scolding you in an inappropriate way. So why are you silent? If you stay like that, you'll never succeed. Will you keep on getting scolded for the rest of the year? Do you think it's good for you? If you have any interest in changing, then I am willing to help you some way or another. Rubia stared at the boy and thinks it won't be an easy task. It's very hard being brave. But looking on the bright side, my words does have a benefit. This is the first time I met this boy, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Rubia sighed and said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have interrupted. The guy responded, you don't have to worry about it, princess. He's famous for being a coward in our class. Rubia answered, yes, I do think so too. But I'm not too happy seeing your faces. Rubia throwed a rubber gloves and the guy confused asked, what? Rubia answered, request for a duel. She smiled and said, are you scared about how you will lose in front of others? Thinking about it, let's have a duel on who will do the cleaning. The loser will do the cleaning. I will participate as a partner for this child. The green-haired guy pissed, stop this ridiculous joke. Whatever happens, you can't disrespect the honor of knights. Rubia retorted, aren't I serious? Do I look like I'm joking right now? I told you guys that I don't like you. Is there another reason that's more important for this battle? I'm not scared from using a sword. Whatever happens in the duel, You won't hold any responsibility. And it's not fair for you to use a weapon, so I will use this broomstick. The green-haired guy, losing his patience, said, "Don't disrespect us more than that." And he ran to attack. Rubia dodged and said, "Oh, you are using a real sword." Then Rubia counter-attacked, hitting the green-haired guy. Being hit, he is losing his mind and attacked again but deflected. Rubia hit him again. The guy had to kneel from the impact. Rubia trash-talked, said, "That's why I can get rid of you anytime." And she thought, Rubia's body is very weak. It cannot even carry a sword. But as long as I can use self-defense, even if his powers were 10 times much stronger than mine, I can still win over them with one move. But I don't think I can handle too much power generally. Then, those two idiots tried attacking Rubia together. But Wiener shielded her and shouted, "That's enough. I can't believe you are attacking a weak woman. I, Wiener of the Carmen Empire, challenge you to a fight. You must apologize to the young lady if you lose." The two idiots attacked, but both still lose. Rubia was shocked. This is not natural. His dual skills are high class. Then why was he getting hit just now? The two end up being badly wounded. Rubia asked for the first aid kit. Rubia, tending to their wounds, said, "Stay still. Don't bother me." The green-haired guy asked, "Why are you doing this to us?" Rubia scolded, "Fighting is fighting and injuries have to be healed. At least, relook into the principle of night again for today." Wiener called out, "Miss." "Thank you." Rubia looked and saw a deer. Then she adjusted herself and said, "I do not know the conditions you live in, but open your eyes and live proudly as a knight. Don't live your life as a coward and defend yourself. Because life isn't long to live like this." Wiener said, "Yes, thank you. I will never forget your favor even after thousands of years later." In the background, it seems like the fourth prince has witnessed all the events. Rubia, still clueless, stretched and thinks how tired she is. She then decided to go to the middle of the town to eat grilled chicken and beer. In the tavern, the two are enjoying their beers. Mari said, "Miss, this is truly delicious." Then someone said, "Oh my. We meet again." Rubia and Mari looked and saw the two knights from a while ago. The green-haired guy proudly said, "We did what we can at cleaning today. We never worked so hard in our lives. It's fate that let us meet again." Mari asked, "Miss, who are these people? Aren't they strange?" Then they gave a whole fried chicken and Mari retracted her words by saying, "Miss, I think they are better than what I expected." "Cheers!" they shouted. After that round, Rubia stood up and bid her farewell. Rubia thought, "This body is weaker than I thought." She looked at the lively street and thinks, it's the power of the new generation. Looking at this new faces reminds me of 200 years ago. Thinking about when he wanted to build this academy. It was very hard, it seemed impossible. He was one of the closest person to my heart from most of the others. After he died, I continued his legacy. Has it been 10 years since his death? I continued for more 10 years later just for him. Even after everybody's death ended in a tragic way. Even after I've been into too much trouble until I died, I still missed him. Let's think of something else. I have to be loyal to Rubia's life. Yes, that's right. Laziness and laziness. Mari said, Miss, you got an invitation. It's an invitation from the Duchess Sophia Hansa. Rubia said, she is inviting me suddenly? The Hansa is the same level as the Grande Luxon Dukedom. She said, throw away the letter. Any tea party will be annoying, so throw the letter away. Mari said,
Oh no.
but it's a letter from Princess Sophia, isn't it better if you attend? Rubia laid in the bed and said, I don't know, I am going to sleep. The next morning, Mari asked, Miss, won't you meet the new students? Rubia responded, it's okay. I said I won't be attending as I'm not feeling well. Mari said, but you are fine. I'm still a pretty and weak woman. Someone knocked and Mari opened the door. A maid introduced herself, I came from the Hansa Dukedom. Can I see Princess Rubia? Rubia said, what is it? I am Rubia. The maid gave the invitation letter to the princess. Rubia said, a tea party invitation? Sorry for your hard work, but I won't come. I have a rare disease. The maid kneeled and cried, begging her to come. Rubia asked, and if I don't attend you will die? The maid answered affirmatively. Rubia thinks she is like a dog. She said, tell her I will attend. The maid bowed and thanks her profusely and left. Rubia thinks this tea party is like a competition, where everybody smiled but puts a dagger behind everyone's neck with all of their soft words. She smirked and threw the letter in the trash can and said, I wonder what kind of trick she will play. Morning came. Mari asked hesitantly, Miss, will you wear that? Rubia turned around and said, why isn't it beautiful? Mari answered, it is, but I'm certain that everyone there will be wearing dresses. Rubia answered, isn't it a waste to buy a new dress for this occasion? Also, what kind of social attending is it that I have to dress up for? I'm going. What's more important is on the inside. Let's go. Inside the hall, Rubia spotted Sophia. Sophia noticed them and stood up, greeted her and said, I am Sophia from the Hansa Dukedom. It's a pleasure to meet you, I am Rubia. Rubia answered shortly. Sophia added, I always wanted to befriend you, but I never got the chance. I was sad because of that. I'm so happy to finally meet you, I will take you to your seat. Then Sophia guided them in an empty table and she said, Oh God. Your Highness. It was a coincidence that all of the young ladies who had decided to sit next to you, suddenly they all got a cold and couldn't come. What a big problem. I think we have to sit and wait. Rubia looked and thought exactly how a princess should act. From all these people, I should be annoyed. You think that you can control the Academy's society by pulling me down? I'm not surprised, I was expecting it. I can't believe that's the only way to deal with this. I wonder, are there so many cute kids in this academy? When they sat down, Rubia can already see the division of people. Those who satisfy Sophia and those who don't. Well, it's annoying as expected. Okay. There is a way to control the situation and get this place under control. But, do I have to? There is one thing I want, and that is that nobody bothers me. Rubia stood up, smirked and kicked the table. Now, I have chosen a game. The game will be a lively dog game. Everyone was shocked. Then Rubia said, Oh, the table suddenly fell. Why did it fall? Was it defective? Now that I no longer have a place to sit, I have to sit somewhere else, right? Where should I sit? Oh, my friend Jane. The girl mad said, "Who's your friend?" "I'm not Jane. I'm Janet the Marquis." Rubia came over and said, "Oh right, either way, Jane, happy to see you." Janet said, "Don't come." Rubia lifted the table and put it in her feet and threateningly said, "Oh, what did you say? Don't come? You don't want to see me?" Janet scared and said, "No. Sit please." Rubia said, "Okay. You are happy to see me, right? What were you drinking?"
Ah,
"White tea. I love that too, and cream cake. But is this cake really delicious? It tastes really bad." Sophia, hearing all of this, is losing her cool. "Rubia, what are you doing?" Rubia smirked and said, "Princess, I accepted your invitation, but you can't give bad quality cake to the nobles, isn't that right?" Everyone was shocked. Sophia shouted, "Stop now." Rubia thought, "Too late," and kicked another table, which made everyone flabbergasted. Rubia said,
oh,
"It fell again. Is this how the tea party is going to continue?" Sophia was shaking with madness, and Rubia added, "You all seemed happy with each other, but I have to be sorry." Sophia lost her composure and said, "What the hell is with this bullshit?" Rubia looked at her and thought, "Now, that's a funny expression. I think I did the right moves." And Sophia shouted, "Rubia, you can't be this rude." Then, a cake almost hit Sophia's face. Rubia was thinking, if you want to hit the right place. Rubia said, "Oh God. I threw the cake too far away because it was bad. I didn't know you were standing there. Sorry." Then, she noticed another cake. Picked it up and thanks. This view made Sophia scared and asked, "What are you gonna do with that?" Rubia slowly walked to Sophia while saying, "This one has a mysterious taste. It's not delicious and doesn't have any flavor. That's why I hesitated. Do I have to get rid of this or not? What you think, princess?" Rubia lifted her arm holding the cake, posing like she will throw the cake anytime soon. Sophia said, "Please don't do that." Rubia said, "I don't want to throw it away either." "Then what should I do with it?" Sophia shouted, "Don't throw it away. The cake is delicious. I will eat it." Rubia smirked triumphantly. Rubia asked, "Do you have a quiet place somewhere? I think that we should discuss about getting rid of this cake quietly." Sophia nodded. When everyone was gone in the view, Sophia smugly said, "I don't know what that was about, but do you think I'm going to let it slide today?" Rubia said, "I'm not sure about that, but I know what fate this cake hold." Sophia shouted, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Rubia asked, "Why? Why did you do that to me? I didn't do anything wrong to you, but you are trying so hard to humiliate me, isn't that right?" The first Hansa Duke's motto was never ignore the unfair. I heard that this castle was bought by the current duke for just entering the academy. Only the lady who was born in a well family like that can achieve all those expectations. It's amazing that I get to see you behaving like this, as you are a respected person." Sophia madly said, "I will make you regret this. First of all, I won't let you enter the academy ever again." Hearing that, Rubia smiled and said, "Yes, we are finally on the same page, aren't we?" What I want is to never set foot in any social attending. Sophia madly said, "Don't you make fun of me. I will make sure to bury you in the social world." Rubia was so happy with the threats and said, "Good. Exactly what I want." Sophia weakly said, "In the end, you are still humiliating me." Rubia sighed and said, "Wait a minute. Why don't you believe me? How many times do I have to tell you? I was never interested in social gatherings." Sophia asked, "On which basis should I trust you?" Rubia then recited some names: Jean, Sana, Penny, and Anne. "Judging by your facial expressions, you must remember them?" "Yes, they are the young ladies who suffered from your evil deeds." "Do I continue?" Sophia asked, How do you know all of that?" Rubia said, "You are the society's queen, all right? Let's pretend we don't know each other, or else I'm afraid that it will bring you trouble." Rubia thought, "I just want to continue my laziness." She then turned around, left Sophia in the room. "Arr!" Sophia shouted in frustration that can be heard outside. In her own place, Rubia was stretching and happy. The peace and quiet is really worthy of spending money. Before the tea party I had past memories, so I went to the black veiled with high talents. I wasted almost all of my money to gain information about Sophia. It's worth all the money to get rid of that persistent girl. Mari then broke her happiness and announced, "Miss, you have another invitation. It's for welcoming ceremony for the new students sent by Baron Cruzen." Rubia said, "Mari, throw it away. It will just tire me. And she already said before that she will not attend any useless ceremonies. It can't interfere with her rest." Then someone knocked on the door and asked, "Is Princess Rubia here?" Mari opened the door and a knight was there smiling at her, asking for Princess Rubia. Then Rubia noticed the crest of the Western Imperial Knights. She had no choice but to get up and greet the knight. She said, "I am Rubia, what's the matter?" The knight saluted and said, "Greeting Princess Rubia, I'm Ronson from the Imperial Knights. I am here from the orders of the Crown Prince." Rubia asked, "The Crown Prince? May I ask the reason?" The knight said, "His Highness sent you a gift. It's a gift for welcoming the ceremony for the new students." Mari exclaimed,
Oh.
"Miss, it's so gorgeous." Rubia declined and said, "I don't think I will be able to receive this gift." This shocked the knight. She added, "I can't go to the ceremony because of migraine and other diseases that I have. Please tell him, I'm grateful for the gift." "Okay, you may go now. I'm sick and need to rest." Then the knight handed a letter from the Crown Prince. Rubia opened it and read, "I knew in advance that you will refuse, so just take the dress now. P.S. I know that you don't have migraine or any other diseases." Rubia was shocked that she had been discovered. Then the knights ran off while she's busy, so she can no longer decline, which leave her speechless. Rubia was thinking, this is a gorgeous dress and that's the reason why I feel uncomfortable with him. He sends me a dress before the ceremony, that means I have to wear this dress and come to the ceremony. And it could also be a courtship gift. No, the Crown Prince dreams big. For princes who are always fighting over the throne and wanting to become the emperor, are not free to do this. That can't be true. Never. She felt relieved and said, "Throw it away with the invitation." Then someone knocked on the door again and announced, "Is Princess Rubia here?" I'm here by the order of the fourth prince. Rubia stood up and opened the door, and a butler greeted her with a gift from the fourth prince. He added, he said that it's a gift for the welcoming ceremony for the new students. I will leave now, please have some rest. Mari exclaimed, I think that the fourth prince is the best. Rubia was in a dilemma. Why are they doing this all of a sudden? Those two sent a dress at the same time. Rubia said, Mari, burn them. It's useless. I'm not going to the ceremony. She thinks, no matter what their intentions are, I don't want to get involved with them. Mari cried and said, how can you get rid of gifts from the imperial family? You will be in trouble if you keep doing this. Rubia said, yes, these dresses are the same as trash, don't throw them away. Let's use something with more value. They went to a tailor shop and sold the dresses. Each dress equal 4,000 senna, said the cashier. Rubia thought, not bad for gifts from imperial family. This will cover up all of the waste's money on Sophia. Mari happily said, 2 dresses and each one of them is 4,000 senna. Going home, they noticed a guy in front of their room. Mari said, Miss, there seems to be someone. He's quite handsome. Rubia noticed the boy. It was the dear-looking boy Wiener. Wiener noticed them and said, it's been a while since I saw you, how are you? I'm here to express my gratitude for the past. Rubia answered, as I said last time, I only did what I wanted to do, you don't have to worry about it anyways. Wiener blushing said, I've gained a lot of bravery thanks to you, even though you refused this is a big deal for me. Rubia noticing his persistence then said, I understand. So what type of gift did you buy for me? Wiener commanded his butler and said, please bring it. Bringing in a dress. He added, I'm giving you a gift because I heard the story of your highness. Even though you were weak because of chronic disease, you made a decision to enter the academy alone despite the opposition of the duke. Then I heard that you are struggling financially because they cut your allowance off. Some people laughed at you and looking forward to what kind of dress you would wear for the party. But I know. Your highness is the noblest and beautiful lady in the world. I cannot tolerate your highness being laughed at by others. That's why I prepared this dress for you. Then inside their room, Mari was so fascinated in the dress and asked, it's very beautiful, but what are you going to do, miss? And who was bad-mouthing you? Rubia said, isn't it obvious? It's those noble girls. I can't throw it, I received this gift with a lot of gratitude. Rubia then finally decided, she will just show them her face then leave, and she laid down and sleep. Mari was happy since her lady will be going to the ceremony. The time for the ceremony has come. And you can hear people complimenting Sophia, someone said, oh my goodness. You are so beautiful today. Another one said, it's true. It's like you are shining like a star. Then Janet asked, will Princess Rubia attend this party? Everyone looked at her in annoyance. Janet said, no, I didn't mean to ruin the atmosphere. I was just upset if she would attend. Sophia said, it's all right. We can talk freely. I don't know if Rubia will come. But if she did come, she won't be able to talk with anyone. Everyone positively responded to what Sophia suggested. Then, while everyone was making fun of her, of how poor she is now and won't have any dress to wear but the old one she wore last time, Rubia was slowly making her way to the ceremony. Everyone stopped talking and looked at the stairs. Rubia, walking slowly, has captivated everyone present. Rubia, noticing their intense gazes, asked Mari, "Mari, is there something on my face?" Mari, being the #1 fan, said, "Yes, there is, and it's beauty, miss." Rubia was speechless. 2 hours ago. Mari stopped Rubia from leaving and said, "Stop. Miss, you can't go like that." Mari took out her makeup brushes and added, "It's been a long time since a ceremony was held, so you have to be super beautiful tonight. I will do a full makeup appropriate for the ceremony. I will make the 4th prince fall in love with you as soon as he sees you." Rubia thought, I made her do light makeup. I never thought Mari's makeup skill was this good. I don't know how to avoid people's eyes. This face is too beautiful. Before I get any more unwanted attention, I will show Wiener my face and leave. She said, "Mari, let's go to that corner." But before they could leave, someone already said, "Your Highness the Princess, may I ask you for a dance?" It was the green-haired bully guy from before. Rubia joked, "Why do you want to dance with me suddenly? Do you like me?" Making the guy blushed so hard. Rubia then said, "Okay, let's dance." Rubia thought, this is not bad. Okay, let us have fun dancing. Then after that dance, Wiener came and asked for a dance too. While they are dancing, Sophia and her dogs said, "The ugly princess and the commoner boy. A perfect match." They are waiting for them to be embarrassed, but Rubia and Wiener danced so good that everyone was praising them. Someone said, "That's wonderful, what a smooth dance." Another one said, "Princess Rubia's dance skills are amazing. Beauty, talent and intelligence. She lacks nothing." After Rubia and Wiener's dance, everyone was looking forward to who will be the next one. Thinking it would be another commoner. "May I have this dance?" The crown prince asked, which shocked everyone. Rubia said, "I refuse. I'm too lazy." She already wanted to be with her bed. She turned around and ready to leave when the crown prince said, "Did you sell the dress I gave you? Did you know that it's illegal to sell gifts from the royal family without permission? You are under the charge of defaming the imperial family. You bastard." Rubia thought. She said, "It wasn't beautiful to keep anyways. And I'm the 4th prince fiancé." The crown prince said, "But you are still not married, plus you wanted to cancel it. So tell me, would you give me the honor to dance with you, Miss Beautiful?" Rubia gave in and tried stepping on his shoes but failed. This guy is using defense magic. Rubia asked, "Can't you keep your foot still for a moment?" Then after the dance, Rubia was looking for Mari and found her in the dining area. She went and enjoyed too since she haven't eaten since lunchtime. Then she noticed Sophia and friends looking at her angrily. She thought, why are they angry? Let's eat together if you are hungry. She took a food and she flinched. It's spicy. Then the 4th prince was giving her a glass of water. She took it and drank. The prince asked, "Can I have a meal next to you?" Rubia asked, "What business do you have with me?" The prince answered, "I just want to have a meal." The prince answered, "I just want to have a meal. I didn't come to see the princess." Rubia answered, "I see, then enjoy your meal." Rubia thought, there are a lot of empty seats. Why are you sitting here? The prince then said, "You must be wondering why I sat here when there are empty seats." Rubia, shocked, looked at the fourth prince and saw his eyes are glowing. The prince continued, "You are going to be my partner in the future. I think it would be better if we start to become close thanks to this chance." Rubia sighed and thought, "I have to pretend to enjoy my food then leave as soon as possible." The prince, noticing it, put down his fork and stood up, and he said, "I'm sorry that I made you uncomfortable. I have to go now. Enjoy your meal. I hope to have a proper meal with you next time." Rubia stood up and called, "Your Highness, if you are approaching me because of some bad intentions, then please don't." The fourth prince asked, "So you will accept me if I approach you with good intentions?" Rubia answered, "It's hard to answer to that too." Orlean said, "Okay, I will look into it." Then turned around and left. Rubia felt her head is aching and thought, "What is wrong with these two princes? They didn't suffer as I did. I just want to rest in this life. Why can't they just leave me alone?" She then had a flashback. In the middle of the war, you can hear people shouting, "To honor the great sword keeper. God shall protect us." Someone shouted, "No! Pennon. Elaine.
Ugh.
Charlotte. Charlotte. Miss. Miss." Mari was trying to call Rubia, who was in a daze, and asked, "Are you okay?" Rubia replied, "It's okay, let us go back now." When they turned and about to leave, the Baron, who is the president of the school, came and greeted her. "Finally I get to meet you, Princess Rubia. This old man is very happy to see you in this ceremony. I thought you wouldn't be able to come because you might have been ill. Thinking about it, you don't look well, are you okay?" Rubia replied, "I have a small headache. That's why I am on my way back now." "I'm sorry, sir." The principal, alerted, had said, "You should go and take care of yourself. Your body is one of the Academy's most precious. Take a good rest, princess. I told you everything. If you don't feel well, you can always skip classes as much as you needed." Making Rubia wants to run because of embarrassment. Sophia was shocked and mumbled, "Wiener, the knights, His Highness the First Prince, His Highness the Fourth Prince. Now, even the President?" My 53rd life began as an orphan girl in the slums. You can hear people shouting, "Run! The monsters are here!" While everyone is running, I didn't run. I didn't want to survive. Because in the end, I'll only suffer from a deep sense of futility. When will I be able to rest? Suddenly, a man with a sword slashed the monster. The man looked at her and said, "What is it, kid? Why does a young kid like yourself possess such a dead stare?" Without thanking her savior, she turned around and said, "Don't worry about it. Just ignore me." The guy slowly walked at her back and picked her up and stated, "So noisy. I don't like kids like you. What kind of kid would have such lifeless-looking eyes?" The two continue bickering and he said, "You can't be like this. Come with me. I need to treat those eyes." She responded, "I don't want to. Why would I follow you? Who are you?" The guy sighed and asked, "Who am I? I'm the king of this country who wishes for every kid in my land to be happy. So, don't talk to me like that and come with me." Rubia woke up in her bed and sighed. "I had the worst banquet yesterday, and now I just had a bad dream. The Sword King, Leo Ford. He used to say that he wanted me to live a happy life. Of course, his wish didn't come true because my past life ended in a catastrophe. He said he would make me happy, only to bring suffering and death for himself. That's all the more reason to live happier in this life. Let's ignore the crown and fourth prince. I don't like either of them, so it can't be helped. Now that event is over, nothing will bother me anymore. Right, I'm going to rest. Like a sloth. A week later, Rubia was sipping her tea and exclaimed,
Ah.
"This is nice." Then someone knocked, which gave Rubia a bad omen. Who's searching for me? This cycle of knocking is an unpleasant omen. Rubia isn't here. Rubia isn't here. Just go away. Then the knocking intensified, which irritated her. It's not stopping. She stood up, opened the door and said, seriously, "Who?" The crown prince smilingly said, "How have you been?" Rubia flinched and by reflex closed the door. "Rubia?" the prince called. "Rubia isn't here," she answered. The crown prince laughed and said, "As expected, you never let me down. You always make me laugh like this." "It's amazing." Rubia retorted, "I'm glad you had a good laugh." "Then, I think you are free to leave now." Rubia was thinking, why is he still staying at the academy? There's no reason for him to be here as a temporary professor. The crown prince said, "Anyway, can you open the door for me? I didn't visit you for personal reasons this time. I'm visiting because I have my own business as the academy's professor. If you refuse to comply with the professor's official request without reason, you may face disciplinary action for violating school regulations." Another cheap threat, Rubia thought. She opened the door and said, "What's the matter, esteemed professor?" The crown prince said, "Your attendance. I haven't seen you in class ever since I came into the academy." Rubia said,
Ah.
"I have a chronic disease." The prince said, "But you look healthy?" Rubia announced, "My attendance is a matter the headmaster directly takes care of, so I don't think it's something a temporary professor needs to talk about." He smiled and said, "I see, I am but just a mere temporary professor. I can't say anything about issues the headmaster has considered. In class, I mean." Rubia looking confused, he continued, "Didn't you know? Students of Lynette Academy must participate in club activities. Club activities are an integrated part of a regular course and even the royal family must participate without exception." Rubia paled. "This means she has to participate too." He added, "For your information, since you didn't file an application to any club, you are automatically placed into a one where the quote wasn't met." Rubia asked, "Which one I was put in?" He answered, "A Reflection on Life and Beauty Club. It's an art club and we are planning to do many activities. I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm the club's advisor." The crown prince was smiling so confidently as if he was sure that Rubia have no other choice. Rubia said, "Thank you for your consideration, but I refuse. Please go back." The crown prince was shocked, but he said, "Rubia, I think you are misunderstanding something. Most clubs are already full, even you'll have to join at least one." Rubia confidently said, "Don't worry. I'll take care of it." "Well then, be careful on your way back." Turned around and slammed the door. This is tough, the crown prince thought. The next day, Rubia was walking towards the student council room. She knocked and opened the door. In there, she saw the blue-haired man, bowed and introduced herself. Rubia of Luxon Grand Duchy greets Your Highness the Sixth Prince. The Sixth Prince said, You don't have to be so formal. We'll have a closer relationship in the future anyway, prospective sister-in-law. Anyway, it's nice meeting you. I've always wanted to see you. If you don't mind, would you like to have a cup of tea with me? Rubia refused and the fourth prince came in saying, Ezekiel, is there a guest? Surprised, he noticed Rubia. Rubia bowed and greeted, Greeting to Your Highness the fourth prince. The sixth prince tactfully left the two. Orleans said, It's been a while. They sat and had some tea. Rubia went straight to the point and said, I'm here because I have business with the student council's president. Orleans said, Is it perhaps because of club activity? Rubia was surprised that he knows and he continued, Because the deadline for club applications is near. You didn't apply anywhere, but you do know that you'll still have to participate in club activities, right? But will you be able to do that? I heard you are not feeling well, and you have been skipping all your classes. As the student council president, I've also thought about this. How about you join my club? It's a current affairs debate club. We don't do many activities. If you only attend about once a week, as the club president, I'll make sure to handle everything at my discretion. Rubia said, Thank you for your concern, but I've already decided on a club to join. She handed a letter. The prince read it and Rubia explained, It's an application form for a new club. In the letter it stated, Club name, Rubia Fan Club. Requirements, must like Rubia. The fourth prince said, I've never seen such an insincere application form before. Are you serious? Then he said, You are going to regret it though. Since there are no procedural problems, I'll give you permission. However, you know this kind of club can't reject anyone who wants to apply, right? Rubia answered, Yes, I know. And she thought, there won't be anyone who would be willing to join this weird club. Orleans said, Then, I'll be the first member. I'd like to apply to the club. He handed his application form to Rubia and said, Take it. It's my application form. Rubia sighed and said, I don't know with what intentions you are acting like this. The prince answered, It's for monitoring. My lady, on the first day you were admitted into the academy, you gambled at a casino. Since then, you haven't attended class and this time, you were almost dragged into a social club. That's the only reason. After that encounter, the fourth prince is spacing out in his duties. Even though he knew it was childish, he stubbornly went ahead and lied. He hesitated to tell the truth because he thought Rubia might put her walls higher. Truthfully, he wanted to ask her if she always had that confident personality despite being known to be weak. How she were able to learn swordsmanship when her body is frail. What you think about my brother being interested in you, and why your soul looks so tired. Out of all the people I can read, you are the only one that's like a mystery. Rubia. If I were to think it's a relief that I'm your fiancé, you would dislike me even more. Rubia lying in her sofa was thinking about the fourth prince. In her flashback, the prince said, The clubroom is at your room, dorm 307? I might not be able to go often because I am busy, but I hope you, as the president, will be understanding. She felt relieved. that it's just like a ghost member. Now she can finally relax a bit. Because there won't be any more people joining in her club. Not knowing there is already a guy in her front door taking a lot of courage to knock. He finally knocked. Rubia sighed. Just a knock is enough to make her anxious. Why is it that on the day Mari is out, visitors keep coming? She opened the door and was surprised the green-haired bully. She asked, "What brings you here?" The guy, blushing, finally gave his form to Rubia. Rubia looked at him weirdly and he shouted, "Why are you looking at me like that?" Rubia answered, "I was wondering if you were in your right mind." He embarrassedly said, "Of course I'm sane. I'm serious, so please quickly let me join." Another voice can be heard saying, "Darn, someone came before me." Wiener added, "I wanted to be the first one to register. I came to join the club, Your Highness." Rubia speechless and said, "Guys, I think you are acting like this because you want to try something different, but can you calm down for a moment? I get that you want a change from the boring academy life, but..." The green-haired guy said, "You are being too much to the people that came after looking at the registration requirements." Rubia thought, "No, that's why I am asking for the reason you joined." Wiener stated, "I don't know about others, but I joined because I like Your Highness." "I did too," the green-haired said too. Then, they heard another commotion. A girl panting said, "It's been a while. I'm Milia, who you helped last time when I was in trouble with Lady Maina. This is my application form." Rubia is clueless, just what is going on? Why are these kids acting like this?